Hey kids, Mr. A here again with another episode, How to Draw the Mr. A Way. A lot of kids ask me about sketchbooks, and sometimes when class is over, especially the 4th and 5th graders, they come up to me and say, Mr. A, look at this drawing that I did. And what happens, boys and girls, when they bring their drawings in, they draw in a composition book. Now here's a regular composition book you use for school. And I use these composition books too when I make notes and stuff like that. This is my weekly planner. I have a weekly planner here, and every week I have things I want to do, like for work, at school, or at home. But a lot of kids, they draw their composition books. And I noticed that they also draw on a spiral-bound composition book, and they tear the pages out, you know what I mean? They tear these out. Or sometimes they use graph paper. So you have a composition book, a bound composition book. You have spiral-bound composition book with the lines in it. And then you have graph paper. Now these are well and good, but if to be a really good artist, or to be better at being an artist, it's best to use a blank composition book. So I've got my good buddies, Hamlet. Say hi, Hamlet. You ready to learn about sketchbooks, Hamlet? Hamlet says yes. My good buddy Hamlet. I love my buddy Hamlet. He's my good buddy. So Hamlet's going to come over here and watch us. So, boys and girls, I'm going to give you a little primer or a little guide on sketchbooks. So, let's put away these composition books. You don't need these. Save these for school and for taking notes. Okay? You don't need a graph paper. So let's put these away. Now, there's different kinds of sketchbooks. As you notice, I showed you a spiral-bound composition book, right? But they also have spiral-bound notebooks. Here's one of my notebooks here. And it's spiral-bound, but it's toned paper. And you can tear the pages out. There's a pork that I drew a couple weeks ago. This is a spiral-bound notebook here. I've got another spiral-bound notebook, and I've got the year that I started drawing in this one. And I'm going to show you my sketchbooks down the road. Always put my name and my address on, my email address on here in case it gets lost. One time I was visiting my brother in Arizona. Here goes some stuff out of my spiral-bound sketchbook. Star Wars stuff. When the Clone Wars movie came out, Chewbacca, Yoda, Mace Windu, Anakin, Darth Vader, Barriss, Offee, and Luminara Unduli, Kit Fisto, Quinlan Voss. You know, a whole bunch of Star Wars characters. And a couple other things that I've done in here. So these are some of my favorites. Some science fiction covers I worked on. Some science fiction type covers I worked on based on science fiction. I love science fiction. I love robots and zombies. So here's another spiral-bound sketchbook here. Let me see. Here's a journal book, an artist journal kit that I like. I got this out of the art store. It shows you different things. My little Batman drawing right here. I got drawings in here. It's got a little paper. And it has little tips and tricks on how to do stuff. But it's spiral bound. Now the Batman drawing that I did. Let me adjust the camera a little bit so you can see a little better. Little Batman drawing that I did. And just various sketches I did with an ink pen. And we're going to look at my sketchbooks down the road just to give you an idea. Another Batman. I guess you guys know Mr. A likes Batman. And then some more Batman drawings. Hey, look at that, guys. And then Batman game, you know, for Xbox. So spiral bound. Now, boys and girls, it's just like this one. It's spiral bound, but instead of lines in it, it's blank. So you can use those. Let me show you some more sketchbooks, guys. You got some bound sketchbooks here. Here's a sketchbook that was given to me as a gift a couple of years ago. I always put my name and my email address on here. Always put my name. I put a little TV, my name, my email, my phone number. Because one time I was visiting my brother in Arizona, and my sketchbook got lost. And the guy at the airport found it, and he sent it back to me. He called me on my cell, sent it back to me. And guess what? I gave him a drawing. And guess what I drew? I said, what kind of drawing do you want? He said, I want. So I drew him and did a drawing of Batman. So here's my sketch. We're going to go over my sketch. Ooh, Superman. Let me see. Did I see Superman in here? Superman. As you know, that's how I started drawing. I started drawing from comic books when I was a little boy. My HD TV. And I have a lot of books. I like to read. I watch TV, but I like to read too. Here's another bound sketchbook. And what I like to do, guys, and what you should do, you should always do a drawing on your sketchbook. So in case it gets lost, you say, well, this sketchbook had a drawing of Iron Man, had an A on it. Or it had a rocket ship in the back. That way, you can identify what it looks like if somebody, tries to give it back to you. Did a drawing of Wolverine on this one. These are bound sketchbooks. Picture of Wolverine I did. Just playing around. And this is a little guy too. I call these pocket notebooks, and these are a great thing to have. We'll talk about pocket notebooks down the road. Here's another bound sketchbook. And you notice I did a drawing of Batman. So in case I lose it, I said, oh, it had a drawing of Batman on the back cover. And I did this with a silver Sharpie. And as you notice on the back, I've got my name and stuff on the back, my phone number, my email address, in case it gets lost. But this is a bound sketchbook. These are great. I love these. All right. Let's see what else Mr. A has here. Oh, when I was teaching art camp at the art museum past couple of years, we were giving these out to the kids. They got their own little bound sketchbook. So I did little sketches in here. And I told the kids, put your favorite things on the inside cover. So I had them write their favorite color, the favorite food, sports, and games. So my favorite colors are blue, gold, and black. I like pizza. I like to eat fruit and vegetables. I like hamburgers. I like baseball, football. I like track and field. I like to see the guys run the hurdles in the relay races at the Olympics. I like checkers. I like chess. I like video games. And I like Scrabble. I think Scrabble's my favorite because it teaches you words and how to read. And I like Mario. And at the bottom, you put your email address and your phone number on here. With your parents' permission, of course. So here's one. And I wanted to show you one, guys, I think you really get a kick out of. This is a sketchbook. And it has blank paper. It's spiral bound. It's a spiral bound sketchbook like this composition book. But instead of having lines all over the place, this sketchbook has some lines. And it has a blank space you can draw. So you can do this stuff too, guys. You can draw on here and write notes. So this is called a sketch and write sketchbook. I love this sketchbook. I use these, I write a lot of my lesson plans. Let me see if I have an extra one here that has my lesson plans in it. All right. Here's one of my, when I was teaching college, I teach college sometime. This is one of my notebooks here. And I write in here, I make notes. So this is when I was teaching college, teaching art history in college. So you notice here I've got my drawings and I got notes here in the margins, stuff like that. It's always cool to do this kind of thing. Teaching perspective, things like that. So these sketch and write notebooks are really cool. I like these. Teaching you the basics. It's really cool. I like those. All right, what else do we have, guys? Let's see. So sketch and write, these are great to work with. And we also have, I want to show you these little pocket notebooks. I love these pocket notebooks. You can fit these in your pocket, in your shirt pocket, your back pocket of your pants, your jacket pocket, your coat pocket. And these are really cool because a lot of the great men and women in the world, like Leonardo da Vinci, Madame Curie, George Washington, Mark Twain, George Lucas, he created Star Wars. A lot of great people, men and women, had pocket notebooks, and they would make notes in these notebooks. And these pocket notebooks are cool. Remember, always put your address and phone number on the inside, and just make little notes. This is my note about writing journals. I like to write. This is my notes I made about creating a YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, and other things. I have interest in the stock market and how about Bitcoins. I'm learning about Bitcoins, things like that. What I have over here, I have, some graphs. So these note pockets are cool. And it has a little pocket in the back. A little pocket in the back you can put notes and things like that. So these pocket notebooks are great. You can put them in your pocket, in the back pocket of your pants, jacket pocket. You can put them with your books in your book bag and just put it out and start to draw. These are really cool. Now, I wanted to show you something, guys. You can also make your own sketchbooks. What you do, guys, you take 8.5 by 11 paper and you fold it in half, and then you get another 8.5 by 11 cover, and then you staple it together. So what you do, guys, I'm gonna do a quick little example for you. Take 8.5 by 11 copy paper, fold it in half, then you staple it at the ends. If you find a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper that has a color to it, use that as your cover, and you have a sketchbook. So it's real easy. So again, take 8.5 by 11 paper, fold it in half, give yourself about maybe 10 pages. That'll give you 20, because 10 times 2 is 20. So a little math lesson in there too. So do that, and voila, you have a sketchbook. You can make these on your own, guys, or if you want to, you can buy your own sketchbook, which is pretty neat if you want. So to wrap it up, guys, stay away from these composition books. Use these for school. Use your composition books for school, guys. And I'm not saying you shouldn't draw in them. If you want to draw little notes and stuff, you'd be surprised at the number of artists that use composition books. But sometimes the lines get in the way. But these are good for taking notes. But if you really want to do some artwork, get a sketchbook with blank pages, and you can do some drawing. So we have the pocket notebook, which is really great. You can make your own notebook, which is really cool. Or you can buy a spiral bound notebook that you can draw in. A spiral bound artist notebook, and you can draw it like this, which is pretty cool. All right. Some of the other notebooks are real expensive, and you can always go to the dollar store. The dollar store's got really cool sketchbooks that are really nice. The next episode, or in future episodes, I'm going to talk about art supplies. A lot of people say, well, should I get real expensive art supplies, things like that? Oh, here's my little Chewbacca. Remember Chewbacca I drew the other day? Here's my little Chewbacca. Not really. You can get a pocket notebook. Notebooks come in different sizes. Here's another pocket notebook that I have, and I have the date that I started it. Let me see what I have in here. I've got Daredevil. I got The Thing. I drew The Thing. I drew Groot. Here's Groot I drew. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I saw the movie in 3D, and I was drawing this while I was watching the movie. And I drew The Thing. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. So pocket notebooks, guys, are good. You can take 8.5 by 11 paper, fold it in half, and make your own sketchbook. Or you can buy sketchbooks at the dollar store. All right? So boys and girls, sketchbooks. Draw, draw, draw. And remember, guys, practice plus confidence equals success. Just keep drawing. If you get discouraged, keep drawing. There's no such thing as a bad drawing, no such thing as bad art. Just draw. Just like you're practicing a musical instrument, or you're practicing your throwing arm in football, or you're practicing your swing in baseball, and the more you practice, the better you get. Same thing with drawing, guys. Don't be afraid to fill up your page, your sketchbook with drawings. For example, let me show you one of mine. Don't be afraid to just fill it up with drawings. And it's okay to copy. I copied this artist named Alex Toth. I love his work. He's a big fan of mine. I was a big fan of his when I was growing up. And I just copied some of his stuff out of his sketchbook. And then copying is good. Because sometimes when I'm in school, the kids are like, Mr. A, he's copying from me. And I have to tell them, say, kids, you know what? Copying is good. Because that's how you learn how to draw, by copying out of picture books, comic books, graphic novels, magazines. Now, one thing you shouldn't copy, boys and girls, is another person's test paper. Should you copy another person's test paper? Let's see what Hamlet has to say. Hamlet, should we copy test papers? No. Don't copy test papers. Should we copy other artists' drawings? Yeah. So let's do that, guys. All right, boys and girls, sketchbooks. And have a great day. Draw, draw, draw. Hamlet says bye. And we'll see you later, boys and girls. Take care. Ciao.